Hello and welcome to Connected Conversations, the podcast where we explore the world through natural English.
Hey everyone, I'm Leo.
And I'm Anna. Today, we're taking a virtual trip to one of the most iconic cities on Earth. We're talking about traveling to London.
That's right. Whether you're dreaming of red buses, royal palaces, or West End shows, London is a magnet for travelers. But it can also feel huge, expensive, and a bit overwhelming for a first-timer.
Exactly. So today, we're going to be your guides. We'll walk you through the pre-trip excitement, the on-the-ground reality, and the cultural nuances that make London so special. Plus, we'll give you all the essential English phrases you'd need to navigate the city confidently.
Perfect. So let's start with the dream. Anna, when you picture London, what's the very first image that pops into your head?
Oh, it's a classic one. A bright red double-decker bus driving past the Houses of Parliament with Big Ben towering over it. It's that postcard-perfect, slightly gray-skied scene. It's what I imagined long before I ever went. What's your iconic London snapshot, Leo?
For me, it's the Tube map, those colorful, crisscrossing lines. It symbolizes the city's incredible, sometimes confusing connectivity. And the sound of the announcement, "Mind the gap." That phrase is London to me. But these are the stereotypes, the tourist bucket list items. The magic is what happens around and between them.
Absolutely. And that magic starts with planning. London isn't a city where you can just wing it and have the best time. A little pre-trip strategy goes a long way. So, Leo, where does a smart traveler begin? What's the first step after booking the flight?
Accommodation and budget, hand in hand. London has amazing options, from hostels to boutique hotels, but location is key. I always tell people, stay near a tube station. It doesn't have to be in the very center like Leicester Square. Neighborhoods like Covent Garden are central, but pricey, while places like King's Cross or Southwark are well-connected and might offer better value.
That's crucial advice. Well-connected is the phrase. Check the tube map. And the budget part is real. London is expensive, so you need to prioritize. Do you splurge on a theater ticket or fancy afternoon tea? You probably can't do everything, and that's okay.
Right, and this leads to the itinerary. My biggest tip is don't overstuff your days. London's districts are big, and travel between sites takes time. It's better to deeply explore one area, like spending a whole day in museums and parks, than just spend half your day in transit, rushing from Buckingham Palace to the Tower of London.
Yes, a less is more approach. And when planning that itinerary, you have to think about tickets. For the big things, the London Eye, the Tower of London, a West End show, book online in advance. You'll often save money and always save time by skipping the dreaded queue.
The queue, a very British institution. Queuing is a national sport, which brings us to some essential pre-trip language. Let's highlight a few planning phrases.
First, we talked about the tourist bucket list. That's the list of famous sites everyone wants to see.
Example?
Seeing a show on Broadway was at the top of my tourist bucket list for New York.
Then we mentioned being well-connected, which for a city means having easy access to public transport. Example?
Our hotel was well connected with 3 different tube lines just the block away.
And finally, the dreaded queue, a humorous way to talk about a long, boring line you want to avoid. Example?
We bought our museum tickets online to bypass the dreaded queue at the entrance.
So you've got your hotel booked near the tube, your top 3 sites pre-booked, and a loose, flexible plan. You're packed. Now you land at Heathrow or Gatwick. The adventure begins. What's the first real challenge a traveler faces upon arrival, Anna?
Honestly, the transport from the airport. It can be confusing. You have options: the underground, the tube, the Heathrow Express train, a coach, a taxi. The key is to research what makes sense for where you're staying. My personal favorite for balance of cost and ease is the Elizabeth line now. It's a game changer.
That's a great point. Navigating that first journey is a rite of passage, and it throws you right into the next big topic, Mastering London's transport system. The tube, the buses, contactless payment. How do you go from confused newcomer to someone confidently swiping their Oyster card? That's the key to unlocking the city.
How do you go from confused newcomer to someone confidently swiping their Oyster card? So, Leah, let's demystify it. What's the number one rule for using London transport?
Get a contactless card or an Oyster card. Don't buy paper tickets for every journey. It's expensive and slow. Just tap in and tap out on the yellow reader. The system calculates the cheapest daily fare automatically. And a huge tip, stand on the right on tube escalators. People in a hurry will walk on the left. It's an unwritten law.
Stand on the right is the first rule of London Club. Break it and you'll feel the silent disapproval of 100 commuters. And while the tube is iconic, don't forget the buses. A top deck front seat on a bus is one of the best, cheapest sightseeing tours in the world. Route 11 goes past so many landmarks.
Absolutely. And walking. Some of the best connections are walks, from Covent Garden to Trafalgar Square, across the Millennium Bridge from St. Paul's to the Tate Modern. London reveals itself on foot. But let's say you're now a transport pro. You're out exploring. What's the first iconic experience you'd send a friend to, Anna?
For the sheer I'm in London feeling, I'd say stand on Westminster Bridge, look at Parliament, hear Big Ben chime, see the London Eye across the Thames. It's all right there. Then I'd send them for a walk along the South Bank. You have street performers, book markets, great views of the city, and it leads you to Borough Market for amazing food.
The South Bank Walk is a perfect itinerary backbone. And Borough Market, that's my tip for lunch. Skip an expensive, mediocre restaurant, go to the market, grab a fantastic gourmet sandwich or some hot international food, and eat by the river. It's about experiencing the atmosphere as much as eating.
Yes, it's vibrancy over formality. Now, London's museums are another world-class and mostly free experience. The British Museum, the Natural History Museum, the V&A. How do you tackle them without getting museum fatigue?
You have to be picky. You can't see everything. Go to the website, see what the must-see exhibits are for you, the Rosetta Stone, the Egyptian mummies, and head straight there. Or choose just one or two galleries that interest you. And embrace the free entry. You can pop in for an hour, see one thing, and leave without guilt.
That's the way to do it. Treat it like a cultural cafe. Now, let's talk about a quintessential British experience, the pub. It's not just a bar, it's a social institution. But for a visitor, it can be intimidating. Leo, what's the etiquette?
First, you usually order at the bar, not at a table. Know what you want before you go up. A classic order is a pint of lager or ale, please, or a glass of house red or white, please. If you're with friends, you might take it in turns to buy a round. And if someone says cheers, clink your glass and say cheers back. It means thanks and to your health.
Perfect pub guide. And if you're hungry, a Sunday roast in a pub is a true experience. Let's pull out some of this fantastic navigation and experience vocabulary.
We talked about tap in and tap out, the essential action for using London's public transport with a card. Example, remember to tap in and tap out with your Oyster card or you'll be charged a maximum fare.
And then we mentioned museum fatigue, that tired feeling you get from seeing too much art or history in one day. Example, we avoided museum fatigue by visiting just one exhibition at the Tate Modern.
And the social ritual of taking it in turns to buy a round. This is when each person in a group buys drinks for everyone, one after the other. Example, we spent the evening at the pub taking it in turns to buy a round.
So, you've seen the sights, ridden the tube, enjoyed a pub, but there's another layer to London, the British culture and manners. It's more subtle than the postcards. How does a visitor navigate the famous British Reserve, Leo?
The stiff upper lip. It's often misunderstood. British people aren't unfriendly. They are often just respectful of personal space and privacy. So saying sorry, please, and thank you is hyper important. If you bump someone, say sorry, even if it was their fault. It's a social lubricant. And queuing politely is a sign of respect.
That's so true. Sorry is the most useful word in the UK. And while small talk with strangers isn't as common as in some cultures, if you're in a queue or at a pub bar, a comment about the dreadful weather or how busy it is a perfectly acceptable way to start a brief, friendly chat.
Exactly. Use the weather. It's the national conversation starter. Now, after days of exploration and cultural immersion, you start to see beyond the tourist shell. You notice the contrasts, the ancient history next to hypermodern architecture, the formal traditions alongside incredible diversity. This is where you start to feel London, not just see it. How does that shift happen, Anna?
It happens when you stumble upon a quiet square in Bloomsbury, or get lost in the side streets of Notting Hill, or hear a dozen different languages in a market in East London. It's when you move from the must-see checklist to simply being in the city. And that's when you start to form your own personal connection to it.
It's when you move from the must-see checklist to simply being in the city. So, Leo, how does a traveler find those hidden gems or personal moments that aren't in the guidebook?
You have to wander with intention, but without a rigid plan. Pick a neighborhood that sounds interesting, like Camden for its alternative vibe, or Greenwich for maritime history and amazing views. Get off the main street. Pop into a local cafe, not a chain. Ask a friendly-looking local a question. Excuse me, is there a good independent bookshop around here? You'll often get a fantastic recommendation.
That's the key. Ask a local. Londoners are proud of their city's diversity. Also, look up. London's architecture is a storybook. You'll see medieval, Victorian, and futuristic glass buildings all on one street. And visit a London park. It's not just grass. Hyde Park, Regent's Park, Hampstead Heath are social hubs where you can watch the city relax.
The parks are the city's lungs, and completely free. My other tip for an authentic experience is to check out local markets beyond Borough. Broadway Market in Hackney on a Saturday, or Columbia Road Flower Market on a Sunday morning. You're immersed in local life.
Yes, that's where you feel the city's heartbeat. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the weather. It's a defining feature. How do you embrace the drizzle, as they say?
You pack layers and always carry a compact umbrella or a waterproof jacket with a hood. A light shower can appear out of nowhere, but don't let it stop you. There is something wonderfully cozy about being in a centuries-old pub or a museum while it rains outside. It's part of the atmosphere.
It truly is. And the weather leads to another great English phrase, make the most of it. If the sun comes out, drop your plans and go to a park or the South Bank immediately. Everyone else will be doing the same.
Absolutely. Sun's out, everyone out is the rule. Let's highlight a few more phrases for this deeper level of travel.
I would say the use of the phrase hidden gems, which are wonderful places that are not famous or crowded with tourists. For example, our best meal was at a hidden gem of an Italian restaurant we found down a side street in Soho.
And the advice to wander with intention, which means to explore purposefully but without a fixed minute-by-minute plan. For example, we spent the afternoon wandering with intention through the streets of Shoreditch looking for street art.
Finally, the very British concept of a light shower, which is a gentle, often brief rain. For example, don't worry, it's just a light shower. It'll pass in 10 minutes.
So the trip is winding down. You've had your fish and chips, you've seen a show, you've mastered the tube. What's the lasting impression London leaves on most people, Anna? What do they take home besides souvenirs?
I think it's a sense of layered history. You feel the weight and presence of the past everywhere, but it's mixed with this incredible, modern, global energy. It feels both grand and surprisingly human. You leave feeling like you've only scratched the surface, which makes you want to return.
That's it. It's a city that reveals itself slowly. You can't conquer it in one trip. And that's okay. The goal isn't to tick every box. It's to have your own unique experience. What's your number one piece of final advice for a London first-timer?
I would say Wear comfortable shoes. Seriously, you will walk more than you ever thought possible. And look up from your phone. The best parts of London are often the things you notice between the big sights. What's your final tip, Leo?
I would say be politely curious. Say please and thank you. Queue nicely, but don't be afraid to ask questions. Talk to people and explore. London rewards curiosity.
Perfect. And for our listeners, every step of this journey uses the practical, real-world English you'd need, from buying a tube ticket to ordering in a pub to asking for directions.
Which means you're now ready to not only visit London, but to talk about your trip in fantastic detail in English.
And that brings us to our favorite part, the question of the day.
Today's question is, if you could experience one classic London thing, a West End show, afternoon tea, a football match, a walk across Tower Bridge, what would it be and why?
Let us know in the comments. We love hearing your travel dreams, and it's great English practice to explain your choice.
So, to recap our London journey, we started with the dream and the plan, managing expectations, budgeting, and smart pre-booking. We moved to navigation and icons, mastering transport, seeing the sights, and diving into pub culture. We ended beyond the guidebook, finding hidden gems, embracing the weather, and forming a personal connection.
Remember, travel is about the experience, not just the checklist. Let yourself be surprised by London.
Beautifully said, Anna. Thank you for this fantastic tour guide chat.
And thank you for listening, everyone.
If you know someone dreaming of a London trip, please share this episode with them.
Don't forget to subscribe to Connected Conversations. We're here every week with a new topic to explore in English.
From both of us, Anna
And Leo.
We hope your next adventure is amazing, whether it's to London or somewhere else. Keep exploring and practicing your English. Goodbye.
Cheers, everyone.